All right. Let's get this show on the road. Welcome or welcome back to Carl Albert State College. Some of you have been here before, some of you haven't. This is the general orientation, which covers things that apply to all of your classes with me. Pretty much apply to all your classes at Carl Albert, but there's some things that are specific to classes with me. So you want to really pay attention in this, because this is going to be the framework here under which you're going to be working for this semester. There's also a specific orientation for each class, which covers that class only. And those are pretty short. This one here is going to be pretty long, but be sure to watch them both. And don't call me about questions if you haven't watched both of them. Believe me, I'll know. You'll ask me about something. I'll say, did you watch the video? And you'll say no. And we'll go to the video and there will be. So please watch these two videos. Okay, you've enrolled in at least one of these classes: Introduction to Fire Science, also known as Fire Science, Introduction to Hazardous Materials and Waste, or just called HAZMAT, Economics and Human Factors, ergonomics and human factors, also known as just ergonomics or just ergo. I don't know where I got economics from. I never taught it, but ergonomics. I'm Mr. Puel, your instructor. You can find more about me by watching my video, How I Became a Safety Professional and My OSHA Experience. This video covers many on-the-job accidents I have seen and my encounters with OSHA. It's available in all classes, so if you viewed it once, you don't have to view it again, unless, of course, you enjoyed it so much. Be sure to view it at least once. There's a lot of good stuff in it. I'm fidgeting my phone here so I can turn the sound off. All right. I don't have office hours at Carl Albert, but I'm readily available by phone, text at 918-839-6990, a number you'll find all over the place, or email me at rwpuhl@carlalbert.edu. I can come to the Poto campus to meet with you if need be, or sometimes we'll meet at some neutral site, offsite restaurant, library, something like that. Excuse me. Okay, you're now an adult. And I commend you on your decision to pursue higher education. It's a good idea. There's a lot of stuff going on about college educations not being necessary. And I think that's because they have watered it down with so many things that if it ends in studies, the class, it probably is a waste of your money. So the classes you're going to get here at Carl Albert are going to give you a foundation, maybe give you a chance to choose what you want to do, and but give you some information that you're going to carry with the rest of your life too. So the path to success is simple, really, and similar to what it takes to be successful at your job. Do the work. Students who do the work will most likely get a good grade. Do it on time and do it well. Don't think that because this is an online course, you can take it easy. If you do, you're going to fail. If you are not willing to commit the time and effort to each class you take, I suggest you rethink your path. When we talk about work in here, we're talking about all assignments, tests, quizzes, exams, etc. Basically, everything you have to submit for your grade. Now, there's other things you have to do, like read the thing, watch the videos, and maybe do some research and reading. But we're talking about work, about stuff you have to turn in. Quiz, tests, and exams. This is what, for my 4 types of work in my classes are a quiz, and that's a short answer type of test. In other words, I'm going to ask you something like, okay, what is OSHA and what does it do, or something like that. And you're going to answer OSHA is the Occupational Safety Health Act / administration, and it is in charge of safety for the United States, or something like that. Test is a multiple choice type of test. There's going to be A, B, C, D. You're going to pick one of those. Exam is I only use the 8-term exam for midterms and finals, and they're multiple choice as well. An assignment is usually a paper. We saw a video, and usually there's a video about something, and then the assignment is you have to report a paper on it. Frequently, the paper is you're the safety professional and this happened, and you have to report to the upper management something. And that's something that you will be doing in your career, most likely. So all these together, we just simply refer to as work. The following graph shows grades earned versus percent of work completed. The Y, or the vertical axis, shows the grade. The X, or the horizontal axis, shows the percent of work completed. This data is a composite of 3 online classes last fall. It clearly shows that if you submit 63% of the assignments, you're probably going to fail. But if you submit at least 84%, you're probably going to get at least a C or maybe even a D. And here's the graph. We're just going to take a look at here. The final grade is here. Oh, this is the final grade in percentage. And this x-axis is not linear now, which means it doesn't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You'll see that there's some, actually, I'll move myself up a little bit. There's a lot of them. These are all 100. In other words, that is the percent completed. And down here is 0, and it goes up to 100 for percentage completed of classes. And this, you can see the big break between the two parts of the curve. Up to here is 63%. Everybody did 63%. Their grade was like about 43%. So that's not a good grade. And then at least if you got up here to 84%, now you're going to get up here to at least a passing grade. And these are all passing grades. Now, this person right here did all the work. All these people from here on in did all the work. Most of them got A's. This person did all the work, but they did it pretty sloppily. So they just barely got a C, I believe it is. But you can see if you do 84% of the work, at least you're probably going to pass. You might get a D or a C. You're probably going to pass. If you do 100% of the work, you got a pretty good chance of pulling down an A or a B. And so if you don't do a high percentage of the work, you're probably not going to get an A. So that's just hard, cold facts from last semester. So when I say do the work, that's what I mean. Complete the work, turn it in. The schedule here is pretty simple. There's 16 weeks of instruction broken down into 16 modules. Sometimes each module is a chapter in the book, but not always. They try to work it that way, but books have different amounts of chapters in them. So when we say a module is open, that means it's available to students. So I'll let you figure out what closed means. Each module, except the first and the last couple, because of time constraints in the semester, will be as follows. All modules open at 8 a.m. on a Sunday and are due at midnight the following Sunday. So you have a whole week and then a partial, the most of a day, to get these in. Week 1, the module opens 8 a.m. Sunday. This is week 1 of the module. So when work is due before midnight the next Sunday, considered on time. Now pay attention to this, because this is a break from what we've done before in any of my classes. And these modules are not going to be open for very long. And once they're closed, they're closed. So the week 1 of the module opens at 8 a.m. Sunday. Work is due before midnight the next Sunday, just like normal for every module. Now, week 2 of that module, now not of the semester, of that module, work submitted during this week will be considered 1 week late. 1 point will be taken off every question, or 5 points off every written assignment. So you can submit something after that. It starts on a Sunday. The next Sunday it's due. And after that Sunday, the next Sunday, in week 2, you can submit something. It'll be accepted, but it's going to be considered 1 week late, a point off of every question. And the question on the quizzes are 10 points each. So if you're going to get 1 off, it's going to be 9. You're going to get 9. If you max it, that means your maximum grade could be 90% if you maxed every question, and 5 points off every written assignment. Week 3, work submitted during this week will be considered 2 weeks late. 2 points will be taken off every question, or 10 points off every written assignment. At midnight on the last Sunday in week 3, the module will be closed. It will not be available for the remainder of the semester. Don't even ask me. If you have waited to the last week to start on something, and now something came up, too bad. You shouldn't have waited. All right? Don't wait. To recap, this is the same thing I just went, but I'm saying it again because it's that important. Each module, except the first one and the last couple, because of this time constraints of the semester, will be as follows. They'll open at 8 a.m. on a Sunday and due at midnight the following Sunday. Okay? So again, that's the first week. It's open at 8 a.m. Sunday. It's due the next Sunday by midnight to be considered on time. The next week after that, it'll be considered 1 week late. 1 point will be taken off for every question, or 5 points off every written assignment. And then the next week, the third week that module is open, it'll be considered 2 weeks late. 2 points will be taken off every question, or 10 points off every written assignment. And at midnight on this last Sunday of week 3, the module will be closed. It will not be available for the remainder of the semester. So don't forget about that. Now, the reason for keeping these modules open for a limited time is simple. If you're at work and your boss tells you to finish something by Friday, you better finish it by Friday. This is life in the real world workforce. You need to learn to commit your time and effort to accomplish things when they are due, not when the spirit moves you. You're not going to get by with that in the real world, okay? You'd have to do it when it's due. You should finish all the work for a module in the first week it is open, so you will get the most credit, and you won't let the workload pile up, and you have to hurry through it. No doubt lowering your grade and turning it in late or not at all, further lowering your grade. So if you want to get a good grade, do it in the first week. So this is pretty much what happens in an in-person class. You got to do it now. You just can't turn stuff in 2-3 weeks later. There is a fall 2023 semester calendar in Module 0. Module 0 is the first module of every class, and it just has stuff in it. It's pretty much the same stuff for every class in it. It shows the start date, due date, late date 1, late date 2 for each module. Module 0 and everything in it will be available throughout the semester. Remember, modules be open only for 3 weeks. Turn it in the first week, there's no penalty. Turn it in during the second and third weeks, your grade will be reduced per the grading rubric shown in Module 0. So that grading rubric shown in the module, look at that. The semester schedule shown in there too, and the course outline is also shown in Module 0. Oh, there you go. Each course has a course outline, which is available at all times in Module 0. It shows what is in each module and contains the same information as the instructor comments for each module. So it's a good idea to download it and print it and use it to plan your work. We're going to talk about it in more detail here. Notice in the course outline, some items are in red. These are the work we talked about items that you must turn in. They are also numbered very simply. The module number dot the work. So that's how we refer to them when we need to. So instead of saying that quiz about so-and-so, just say 3.2 or whatever it is. Whoops, I don't want to do that. Okay. Here's one module from the ergonomics class, okay? This is from the course outline. This is only module 3, so the course outline is going to have 16 modules in the final and some other stuff in it. But this is it. This is this module 3. Those are the dates it's going to be open, and then what it covers: anthropometry. Here's what you what you got to do in this chapter. Read chapter 3. Now don't take that lightly. You got to read the book. And then chapter 3 video PowerPoint. That's a PowerPoint, just like this one that I'm going to talk to you, just like I am doing here. And there's a time on the video runtime, 11 minutes, 29 seconds. Now, why is that in there? That's to kind of give you an idea how you can plan your work. All right. It's there for you, really. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. And then there's another video, anthropometry in work design. Stack is the name of the author of the book. And it's 43 minutes and 50 seconds. And then there's another video, using anthropometric data, and it's 14 minutes and 47 seconds. And then there's a note after this one: disregard the assignment at the end of this video. This assignment shows something. And at the end of it, it has an assignment for you to do. You don't have to worry about that one. Now we come up some stuff that's red and numbered, which means that's work. That's stuff you got to turn in. The other stuff you got to do, this is stuff you got to turn in. 3.1, chapter 3 quiz. It has 10 questions and 100 points. So 10 points per question. So that quiz, you can get up to 100 points if you ace it. 3.2, test on chapters 2 and 3. This is a test, so it's multiple choice. So it's 30 questions, 120 points. Multiple choice questions are pretty easy and quick. So you're only going to get 4 points for each one of those. So you're going to get 30 questions, 120 points. And then there's another video PowerPoint, and this is on Amazon Citation 1, and it's 4 minutes and 24 seconds. And then there's an assignment, Amazon Citation, and it's 100.1, 100 points. And in the assignment, it'll explain exactly what you need to do. In this particular case, you need to look at this video and write a paper about it. Right? And there's more specifics when you get in the assignment. So this is what you're going to see, something similar to this in every module. This one happens to be from ergonomics, but they're going to be from every module. So each work item will have some number, letters, and square brackets after them. The code is simple. Q is the number of questions. P is the number of points, like I discussed. Quizzes will have both because they have the number of questions and points. Assignments will have the points only. If something is a PDF file or some such, it may have a short description, such as PDF file, 2 pages. Videos will have their runtime shown. These are there to help you plan your time and let you know what's going on. And then this is another look at what this is the exact same thing we just saw without stuff on it. So this is, again, we talked about it. Here's your runtime for videos, your questions, points, and then just points. Oh, this is an old copy because it's 60. That should be 100 points now. And that was an old copied that earlier. Each module will usually contain at least one video PowerPoint, which is a PowerPoint presentation with me talking to you about it. You need to view each one. Although it may not cover everything that may appear on tests or quizzes, it will cover much of it, and I just might emphasize things I think important enough to be on a test. Do not fall into the trap that because this course is online, it will be easy. Don't think that. This course is online. You're going to have to work at it. You're going to have to do the work, or you're not going to do very well at it. When taking a test or a quiz, read the question. Many times, students lose points because they do one of two things. They give a perfectly good answer, but just not to the question asked. Or more frequently, they don't answer it completely. For instance, a question might be, what is OSHA and what does it do? And they'll answer, OSHA is an acronym for both Occupational Safety and Health Act and Occupational Safety and Health Administration. So far, so good. And then they'll stop. But the question said, what is OSHA and what does it do? And so they'll stop and lose grade points. So again, read the question, answer it completely. Blackboard. If you be sure you're using Google Chrome as your browser. Blackboard doesn't like anything else. I learned this from personal experience. When I first started teaching for online, I actually went and bought myself this Dell computer I'm using right now to use. I was intended to use it for just school, but I'm using it for everything now. So I had 2 computers, the old one, this one, at the same time, and I was kind of, getting this one's geared up for the stuff. And I noticed that on my old computer, when I went into Blackboard, I can get everything. But on this computer, I was trying to use another browser, I forget which one, and I thought I'd just try it just for something different. And I would get some stuff, but not others. It drove me crazy for a little bit. But then when I switched this computer to Google Chrome, no problems. So if you're not using Google Chrome, you're probably going to have problems. Now, if you're seeing this PowerPoint, you're probably somewhat familiar with this part of Blackboard. You start working here is where you need to go to get into the learning modules. That's this right here, where the classwork takes place. Welcome students, that's where this is at, what you're looking at here. There's where your grades, something about your instructor and your homepage, syllabus. But the key here is on the left-hand side, that black thing, start working is where you need to go to get into your modules that you have to work. So that's why it's called start working. Isn't that neat? Blackboard grading is not accurate. So what Blackboard does, it grades only the work you have completed. So it doesn't include any zeros you may have until the instructor puts them in as zeros. So let's just say there's 3 courses that have been completed, and you did one of them, and you got you got 90 out of 100 points on it. So it grades 90%, which is right for that one. You didn't do the other one, so you still get, it'll still give you 90%, even though you've only got like what, 30%, because there's 3 classes. Until I put a 0 in another 2, it doesn't even look at them. So it's not accurate. So I keep an Excel spreadsheet for grades, which is the one I will use for your grade. I will send an email to your Carl Albert State College email account after each module, maybe not after module 1 or so. I will send you an email about your grade. Read it. All right. It's going to be short, what your grade is, maybe what you've missed or something like that. So be sure you can access your CASC email with no problems. If you can't, contact IT or somebody you know that can help. There's a series of student resource videos which are very helpful, especially if this is your first year. You can find them here. These are pretty general ones about the school and what's available to you. Communication. Pay attention to announcements and emails. Announcements are the way instructors communicate with all the students at once. Announcements will also be sent to your CISC email address. When an announcement is sent out, it is your responsibility to read it and act accordingly. All right, so pay attention to those announcements. Grading quizzes. Quizzes are all short answer type questions. Each question is going to be worth 10 points. Short is a relative term here. More or less, it's not an essay, but it may be more than one sentence. And we're going to go over the rubric for grading quizzes, which is in the module 0 right here. That's what it says. Timeliness. Submitted week 1, there's no points deducted. So in this particular question, at the bottom, it says total points available for each question, 10. So you got, if you spend it on time, you're going to start with 10. Accuracy, the correct answer correctly meets the criteria posed in the question. The question is answered in its entirety is 2 points. The question is submitted in the form of a complete sentence. That is a point. Answer is grammatically correct and words are used correctly. Do not use then for than or THEIR for THERE or THE or so there for there. And all words are spelled correctly. Now, why we are doing this to you? Well, we're trying to get you ready for the real world, okay? So if you have a paper that you send up to your boss, which probably going to go even higher than that in the company, or you may even send it to the president of the company, and it's not complete sentence, and it's terrible with words are being used wrong and it's misspelled, it's going to reflect badly on you. So we don't want that to happen. So I want to get you used to doing this. Now, what I've done is I've went through this whole course and looked at all these quizzes, and some of my quizzes had like 45 questions on them before, and I narrowed them down considerably to the number of questions because I knew that this would probably take up more time than just giving a simple answer. So in other words, if I say how much is 2 plus 2, don't just say 4. You have to do a complete sentence. 2 plus 2 equals 4. Or if I answer what is OSHA, don't just say Occupational Safety Health Act. You must say OSHA is an acronym for, whatever. Do it in a complete sentence. All right. So you can turn a question in week 2. You get one. You could turn the assignment in week 2. 1 point per question is deducted in week 3. Now, again, week 3 of that module, not of the semester, that's 2 points per question deducted. So assignments for that module not accepted after week 3. See Welcome Students and the fall 2023 semester calendar for more details. All right. So that's something that is a little different. Now, the grading logic is logic. This is a college level course to help prepare you for a career. That's why you're here, right? And that's why answers must be complete sentences, grammatically correct, and spelled correctly. If you've turned in a report to a vice president that did not beat the above, it would not reflect well on you, and you would probably would negatively impact your career. So we don't want that to happen to you. So grading quizzes. Again, I reduced the number of questions on almost all the quizzes for this semester. Some had 35, 45 questions. I did that because of the parameters in the rubric about complete sentences, grammar, and spelling are going to take you a little more time. So I know this will add some time to the quizzes, so the number of questions are reduced. Don't hurry through any assignments. A lot of times I see people misread the question too. They're not because they're just hurrying. Don't read the whole question. Take your time and answer it. So written assignments are assignments that are written. Duh. So now we're going to talk about the grade, and those are usually, essay type assignments, a report or something like that. Let's go over the rubric for grading for written assignments. Same thing at the top. For submittal, it's 5 points or 10 points deducted if it's in week 2 or 3. And all assignments, written assignments, are worth 100 points. No matter how detailed or big they are, they're 100 points. So if your assignment correctly meets the minimum criteria posted and answered correctly, that's 80 and 10 points. And now you're getting docked 5 points for grammatically correct. Whoops. And 5 points for all words are spelled correctly. So now if you have one word spelled correctly, probably not going to lose all 5 points, but you could lose 5 points for it. So again, pay attention to grammar and word usage. Pay attention to spelling. You're going to have to do that in the real world. You better start learning to do it now. So Grading a written assignment, like I said, the real world thing. All written assignments are 100 points, except there may be a short one in module 1. On occasion, if you really nail it and go above and beyond, I'll grade them over 100 points. There's sometimes people do a written assignment and they knock it out of the ballpark, and I'll add more points to that. I don't have a problem doing that. It's really good. Notice that in both, timeliness is important. Again, the same logic as before. In the real world, if your boss tells you to have something done by Friday, you better have it done by Friday. If you're not willing to commit the time and effort needed to complete the courses you have chosen, perhaps you need to rethink your goals and your path. The parting thoughts. Although the student is the one who has to do the work, the instructor also is an important part of your education. Do not hesitate to call or contact me if you have a question or a problem. It's our job. Do not wait until it's too late. Do not hesitate to call me if you have a question or a problem. I don't mind that. It's not an intrusion on me. This is what I'm here for. Be sure that you have viewed both the general and specific orientations before you call me, though. Don't call me if you haven't read the Welcome Students videos, which are the above-mentioned orientations, all right? But after you've read them, and you're stuck on something, even if it's something that has to do with the work, give me a call, text me, email me, but you can call me. It's okay. Again, that's what I'm here for. I'm not one of those instructors who brags about how tough my classes are and how few students pass. I hate that, and I'll never do that. So read the book, do the assignments, and do them to the best of your ability, and turn them in on time, and you're probably going to get a decent grade in this class. I won't leave you with good luck, because luck has nothing to do with your success. It's up to you. That's it. And again, welcome back to Carl Albert State College.